FaZe Clan continue the dominations of the day. Also, excited to see how Ratio Edge is going to continue because they have an amazing day, and I really want to see a win from them coming into the last day of the week here.
All right, well, thank you very much, Avenger. It's time as we get things going. We're going to be heading onto Erangel to get it all started as our plane descends once again onto the battleground. We head in to game number 23 for all of the action, and it's the grassy pastures. Pansy, take it away.
Thank you, guys, and indeed, it will be those grassy pastures awaiting us from south to north. We have a beautiful plane path, apart from anyone who wants to go Zarki or Georgia Paul. Maybe that'd be a little bit tricky, but beyond that, most people will be pleased. You can access what you need, but we do need to start talking about some of these teams. We've seen improvements on Miramar. Razor Edge is certainly one of them, but Erangel has been their downfall. The rotations have been a little later. You know, you guys brought it up on the desk for us. It's not been an easy transition. We've seen a lot of military circles as well, so it's certainly not played well for them.
Yeah, I mean, this could totally be a military circle once again here. And if it does, I want to see people camp out Liquid. That's one thing we haven't seen on all those military games. We know that they rotate around 3 minutes, they will be around the bridge. Navi's not there. Reciprocity is not there either. To just camp them out, take those 3 points, and then you could just back off straight away.
Did you just call Team Liquid 3 points?
They could be. They could be 3 points.
Could be. I see. All right, all right. I just gotta, you know, work it out. Gotta work out where we're at. And obviously, you guys joining us, let us know your predictions as well in chat. I always love hearing from you. You know, you're never biased at all. Always very clinical thoughts, high-tier players in chat letting us know. You know what I mean? Let's wait for that plane path, though. This could be quite decisive, and it's not a military circle for once.
All right, not a military circle. But the teams do know that both Reciprocity and Unity will be on Military Island. So I'm excited to see if TSM, for example, will want to camp that bridge, because you do know that the teams on Military Island, they want to get their vehicles, and they want to rotate with those. You don't want to take a boat across, because then you need to rotate on foot, which is not optimal at all.
Now, we did see this just yesterday, something similar. It ended up on Potato Hill, that sort of region just to the south of it. So I'd love to see that sort of thing again. That could be quite nice. I love that area of the map, very terrain-based, couple of compounds. It's got a really nice compromise of both sides of the spectrum on it. Beyond that, though, who's going to be suffering in this? M19, long way to get into safety. They're still trying to get through to Primor, so they've got a long way to go. But who benefits from a circle like this? Who are the teams that you think still have, at least should have the upper hand here?
I mean, G2 is a team who's pretty good on holding down a circle like this. They know where they want to play from. They know how to hold it out, and they know the teams. The only downfall is that they sometimes can be very slow in rotations, and they will be stuck about where they are looting right now.
Yeah, and I like G2. I think they've been a team that, I don't want to say surprised me. I didn't do Phase 1, obviously, so I didn't get to see them going off during that. They didn't make it out to the Cup, if I'm not mistaken. They missed out by, it was like a point or something ridiculous. So I haven't got to see much of them, but them sitting up in 4th, and the way they play that edge game when they do have to play it, and they're so aggressive, it's been really exciting to watch. Chris was such an interesting player in the opening week. Very, very impactful. Yeah. So I'm hoping we see more of that. I'd really like to see G2 continue their kind of top 5 form, really looking good in this one. Again, though, can't get over FaZe here. These guys on Erangel have been kind of regaining a bit of that accolade that we put to them in the early days of PUBG, and we're starting to see a bit more of that time and time again. Do we think this can continue? Is there more for them to bring up? They've already got 1 win today.
Yeah, I mean, it can definitely continue, but the hard problem for them is that they have Pittsburgh Knights above them on the north side there, and they have TSM just west of them in Milta. Now, they know that both of the teams do like to loot on for a long time and just hold them out, and that's a downfall for FaZe, because they want to rotate, do their far rotations, and kind of take their time, and if they go too early, they'll just get camped by those two teams.
We also see like this kind of split mentality of the very quick rotations getting extremely central, the kind of more edge play. I don't think we've seen someone decide which is completely the best. There's some teams succeeding from either end of it. So always interesting to find out. Iro going walkabouts very early. He's the one to get on those quicker rotations. It looks like he's looking to that newer compound over by Shelter. So he's gathered that very swiftly, because let's keep in mind, it will eventually move away from the water. So there is, of course, that kind of river that runs around, it's not even a river, but the water that runs around the north of Sosnovka Island, and the river that goes up towards Yasnaya. You'll imagine it's going to be very much slap bang in the middle, kind of to the east of Potato Hill.
Yeah, I don't really like what Iro did there, going first and going to a compound like that. We saw that in the last game where Sixmo did, and he got killed straight away when Liquid stopped. When Sixmo started shooting. I think that was a bad play for Sixmo. He shouldn't have shot at them before they passed him. When they passed him, he could have taken shots, being ready to just leave the compound if he would see them crashing towards them.
Let's see if they can adjust. Because Digital Athletics, they were kind of within that top 4 position, but they've kind of slowly fallen off it a bit. We did see them kind of doing quite well at the start of things. Team that I definitely could not ignore after that kickoff cup. But we haven't seen that consistency yet. We've seen them sometimes being aggressive, sometimes very hyper-passive, so I'm waiting to see what we see. And I don't think anyone's going to go for that crate, really. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a lovely one as well. That's always the shame of things.
No, TSM is not going.
They might just kind of sit around.
Yeah.
They've been taking their time coming away from this sort of position. We saw a bit of a clash there yesterday as well. And Razor Edge, not super early, but this is earlier for them. They've moved away from Yasnaya. They've gotten the kind of... this compound. I think everyone knows that compound. You've either been the one killing from it or dying to it, so everyone knows it. But they've managed to claim that quite early on. But look at the amount of teams very dedicated to that already very busy area.
And that's why I like to see what Razor Edge did there, stopping at that compound a little bit north of the center of the circle, because they know that all the teams will be in the center of the circle. They don't want to be a part of that. They want to make sure they have rotation routes for the next circle instead.
Shiv.
It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, good work, Shiv.
I know my vehicles.
Do you? Do you? You know when they start tilting the wrong way? Is that when your knowledge comes in? You're like, yes, I have messed this up.
Oh, I like this. Look at this. TSM, they're going for the bridge camp here.
It's not a bad play. You've got to know these teams by now. Oh no, Scoom's been found so early. You've gone into Na'Vi territory? Don't do that. We know Na'Vi take their time here. Teams coming off that bridge have gone away with it. Here is that bridge camp, though. It's TSM putting up the barriers. Tizerin already suffering. Orange is probably not going to fancy his chances now. Great, not overstepping. That's good. Bit more cautious this time. Last time we saw him being punished at the end of that last game. Maybe that's a reminder for him to not overextend his welcome. But Unity now in a spot of bother. What do you do here?
I mean, Unity need to fall back here, and TSM should know this as well. Wookie cannot go down here at all.
What are you doing? Oh, he's running across an open road.
What TSM should do right now is fall back. You got to kill. Damage is down on Unity. Fall back, take a new position to play from instead.
Oh god, this is scary stuff. I do hope TSM have that good balance of knowing when the fight should be peeled away from, as you said, look towards the bigger picture. Just beyond this, you still have Michael in other spots. They can fall back to that and hopefully then transition into something maybe better. But G2 are quite greedy about this as well. They've definitely got a plenty of position. Reciprocity have had to suffer their losses and move away from Na'Vi. What we've learned is if you watch the replays back from the last couple of days, Na'Vi let people rotate past them normally. But if you pull up and you start taking their areas, yes, they will fight. People learning as they go. Reciprocity definitely getting the lessons of that Western bridge.
I mean, it's also a thing, like, you don't want to lose plays that early for nothing as well. They lost Scoom without even being able to refrag or even be able to shoot back towards Na'Vi, and that's a big loss there.
It certainly is. Not ideal, and Winstrike might have just caught a little bit of a look towards him. I think Raffi just took some damage from Winstrike, basically claiming these hills, and everyone now littered on this hillside is taking shots towards Reciprocity, who don't have a home yet. They're going towards maybe Pachinki at this point, maybe pulling up here.
This is super desperate from Reciprocity. Going into Pachinki on the edge of Circle 1, that is desperate. They are not doing good right now. They are totally confused. They don't know what to do.
I'm surprised. I mean, you'd imagine with someone, even with Scoom down, you should have a nice overview. He can now think. He can kind of be more of a thinking man's player. But this is desperate times, calling for desperate measures. I wonder where the likes of NIP go to, where M19 go to, is still on rotation. Unity still looking for their options as well. They're yet to cross over from the island. They're not in a huge hurry. They're not in danger from the blue yet, but obviously they will not get central areas. They will not be able to break into that big pack kind of towards the east of Pachinki, where you can see that entire line of areas already taken over.
I mean, you don't want to push yourself into this cluster in the center right now. Keep yourself on the edge of the cluster, make sure that you can rotate out from it, or scout out the compound, see, okay, how many people do we have? Is there only 1 or 2 people? Can we crash that right now, for example?
This is nice. Okay, this is way further north than yesterday's circle. Still to the east, not surprising. But Razor Edge, ENCE actually get a really good shot at this. This is quite a strong position. They don't have too many people to worry about. Sigsy already going to pull himself back into this. So they're going to combine. You can see everyone flooding away from that hillside. Team Liquid on the move. Vitality have lost a player. Krampus gone down in the meantime. That's Iroh finding him. There's going to be casualties on rotation here.
And look at Digital Athletics' 2-2 split there, actually. It's kind of greedy in a circle like this, because it's a far split, so if one of the teams, one of the combos gets crashed, the others can't really help at all.
Oh, here we go. This is going to get very, very spicy indeed, as we casters do love to say. The Knights are already kind of getting their position sorted. FaZe getting quite close by. ENCE, Raise Your Edge, Team Liquid. Everyone needs to start showing these compounds are taken because these teams might crash it. Gemty's been lost on rotation. That's Chris. He was already hitting shots before, and that's another big one to come through. I don't know if Gemty's recoverable, especially with the amount of plays. Oh, no, Samty. Samty tried for it, but Chris claims it. Not going to get away with it. Oh, no, James, keep that vehicle on the ground. We know we love those vehicle physics, as Brendan does like to tell us. I'm only flaming because he's in chat. They have pulled up. They found a smaller area, far from ideal, but it will at least give them some form of cover. But the Knights have a great compound here. They're going to be in prime territory as well. This is quite a scary circle. There's a lot to be fought for.
I mean, both Knights and Liquid in really good positioning here. Even though Liquid lost one player in that transitioning, we do know they're really strong as free players. So they're still going to do a lot of damage to the other teams, I reckon.
We'll find out. ENCE going for the tires. And we have the Knights pulling up to the old hangar.
That's a greedy split. Once again, look at that. Knights moving out two people.
I quite like it. I like this.
The thing is, this hangar is so easy to breach that if a team decides, they literally just decides, we're going to breach this, they're going to take over that. And you're going to lose 2 players straight away.
I don't know. I've got faith in Reels.
The vehicle, look at the vehicle. It's parked in the middle. You should park it towards the other players, towards that compound, making sure you can straight up just bail out if you need to.
Just getting you tilted by these things is now my new favorite thing, honestly. Just, why have you parked your car there? That is great. Anyway, everyone's still kind of alive here, all 16 teams. 60 players, so there have, of course, been those casualties on rotations, a couple of here and there. Shiv finding Senpai. Where is this? That's over by Potato Hill. So Reciprocity have had to stick towards more the outskirts of things, but at least they have been able to transition away from Pachinki. They haven't had too many threats en route. This is a fight they've chosen to take.
Yeah, and I mean, they're finding 1 kill, that's good, but can they continue, or 1 knock? Doesn't look like they can finish off that knock, and they're not going to push on this either, so it's just a little bit of damage done there. They should look into what is our next move, where do we want to move, and set yourself up for that right now.
Okay, that next circle shift could be really, really big here, actually. I'm waiting to see where this one goes to. Na'Vi have just got themselves into a nice enough spot, taking over where the others who were earlier into the kind of more central area of the last circle were previously positioned. But again, they were late coming out from the western side, so it's not surprising they're... Oh, Reels, there he is. See, I had faith in Reels all along. You were doubting him. You were like, that car positioning is awful. You're a terrible player. You didn't say that. I'm kidding.
You know what? I want to see someone crash that warehouse right
just
now.
to prove it. Yeah, I honestly, if the circle shifts that way, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I really, really wouldn't.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's gone south. We're actually very close to where it was. Not very close. We are in the rough area of where it kind of ended last time around. This puts all the teams that went further north out of sorts. So your ENCE, who had a nicer circle last time, Raise Your Edge, NIP, all of this, and actually Reciprocity are on the move quick. They could catch G2 here on the move. I don't know who's going to be pulling up on who at this point. G2 might have just had to kind of put a dampener on their plans, because they have to take this fight now. Na'Vi looking like they want to centralize as well. This is going to be open sort of battles here. Good kill from one, but the trade comes in from Shiv. Really nice positioning to be able to kind of keep that side in check, but it's not over yet. You've still got a good couple of players from G2 surrounding Reciprocity and Team Liquid, trying to get out of the ditch, and it is not happening at all. And actually, it's Fast Rail stealing the knock. That was Vitality getting the initial knock, and the kill goes down towards Raise Your Edge, as TSM not having the best of times here either.
Everyone's just killing everybody. Liquid now in a bad position here, but they're trying to put out some smokes, trying to get some cover towards Reciprocity on the north side there. They have free vision towards Team Liquid in that dip.
This is the western side. You've got NIP out in the blue. You've got M19. All of these teams suffering for a way in because CrowCrowd hold the line. They have great vision on this, and no one's really third-partying either. ENCE could see it, maybe Vitality, but no one's worried about that right now. So in theory, it's just gonna be CrowCrowd surely dominating from this side. Brexco is going to find Haxeti. That fight continues. This is over. That's that G2 Reciprocity fight on the dirt road that's above farm. This is still on the go. Haxeti actually goes down completely as well. And this nade, these smokes being put out, trying to recover Kane here.
Yeah, the thing is that G2 was very split, and they recovered so well considering how split they were. Reciprocity only down to 2 people now that they lost Haxeti by the shack there as well. And that's not good for them. G2, They're trying to find an angle onto Reciprocity, but it looks like they're just going to play a little bit passive. They know that they don't need to push it right now.
Yeah, it looks like Reciprocity have kind of done this. You know, it's the line in the sand. Okay, we're just going to back away this way. We've suffered too much for this. Let's just kind of peel off. And sadly for Reciprocity, they are in a decent enough position, but down to very few players. Na'Vi getting a couple of shots from FaZe towards them. We see NIP getting a...
Oh. Even I wouldn't hit that rock.
Don't believe you. That's awkward. That is very awkward. This is that fight again, that G2 sort of skirmish for Reciprocity. And you can see the angle on the minimap there coming in from the further west side. And here's that fight out in the west. So a lot of the teams trying to fold into this new circle. We do have the northern side working out okay for ENCE from Razor Edge. They have found a way through, but Winstrike looking for their way. It's over in the northeast for now. They're going to be working further down south. But this could be the crash towards Knights. I doubt it. It's probably not worth the attention they're going to get as Snark and everyone else starts laying in those shots.
Yeah, they're just going to send it to shelter, probably trying to go up there, hoping that no one will be there, which we actually see here that no one is up there. And that's kind of odd because usually you would have at least one team up by shelter there trying to hold out the team like Pittsburgh Knights.
Yep, G2. Now remember, they did have a couple of players on that dirt ridge. They still have one down in farm. That's Chris, very much on his own, and he's actually caught off Wookiee completely, and I don't blame Wookiee for being surprised by one man just being there. You don't expect it. Gustav and Rory are probably baffled as well how this even happened, but Chris is just behind enemy lines. He is way out of it, but it's worked.
It worked for him, but at the same time, the big question is, can Chris make it back to the other teammates on the west side now? It's going to be rough because TSM positioned himself in a shack there west of the farm. And, I mean, if you go north, you're going to run straight into Na'Vi.
Yeah, Na'Vi still look pretty terrifying on this ridgeline, if I'm honest. They can take as many fights as they want. The issues maybe they face from Unity down the line aren't going to happen yet. ENCE being gate kept for now. Everything's going to be quite tricky towards the northern side. Jazza and Shadow for Vitality happening good step to that northern side of the circle. As Squeaky and the boys trying to find their way in. And ENCE have struggled on this. It's not the first time we've seen them struggling later game to find new ways into that circle. Those later rotations we saw in Phase 1 simply aren't cutting it for now, as CrowCrowd still control the west side here.
This is rough with 52 people in this circle. People need to crash something, and you're going to see that happening soon. They need to commit to something, just whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is, just something.
They've got to go. Team Liquid pushing towards Razor Edge. It looks like they want to get that ditch for themselves. Sigzy is very alone. His teammate who was with him in that 2-2 split has gone down, so he is in the shack all by himself. As ENCE actually winning out on this fight, we are seeing Chris finding a vehicle out of nowhere, so he will join his teammates. NIP and TSM still in the south, but Mikas trying to get past these yellow houses. CrowCrowd still have the advantage of being in the circle, having circle side on their favor. That will put the pressure towards ENCE to move further forward. And this is that shelter fight. They actually had almost no one there, but Drayden is a million miles away from his team, and he's doing damage. Nookie, surprised, caught off guard, did not expect a man to come out from the blue like this. And Drayden, down to the depths he goes, but Tab has caught off Squeaky up way further in the northern side. That's CrowCrowd still dominating that line.
CrowCrowd has been really scared today. They've gotten a lot of kills. It looks like they're just going to continue with that. ENCE on the other hand, they're getting gate kept right now.
Oh my god, Drayden, you absolute beast. I don't think you'll be able to make it much further than this. Maybe you can, I don't know, but this battle, Team Liquid just went out in last place. That's Razor Edge digging their heels in. I thought Sigzy was done for there. He was on his own, but the others turned up, they rocked up, they helped him out. The revive should come in. I don't see that being capitalized on him. Maybe Vitality get a line on it, but CrowCrowd now receiving pressure. This is great from Drayden again. He had been such a nuisance on that eastern side.
Yeah, he's done a lot of work, and I mean, he's still keeping himself alive, waiting for a team to come and back him up as well.
Yeah, this is still CrowCrowd's side. They have taken down ENCE pretty well. Truthfully, is still alive on his own, I think, here. He's out pretty far away. He's worked his way in, but I think that position's noted. You can see the nade coming out early, maybe trying to find him as he's going to be looking for an angle towards them. But let's look towards who's in good positions as well. Na'Vi, still very central. G2, good enough for now. Reciprocity, FaZe, hold that same little bit of a road that runs through the middle. Yeah,
Pittsburgh Knights actually just down to Drayden right now, and that went horrendous for them. I thought it would be doing better there. Razor Edge still in that dip, and they're still in the next circle here. That's great for them because they don't want to be moving out from it. That's the hardest thing. It's totally open for them on the south side of there.
Yeah, it is completely and utterly. Once they get pushed out, they know their options are limited. Drayden's en route. We are seeing a Beautiful Death doing well. Digital Athletics have been taking names from this compound, but they took this early. They haven't had to move. They're one of the teams who've succeeded in positioning early and did get the benefits of it off the back. Now, FaZe have to make their options noted. They either move forward, move north in towards a more open area towards Unity to get rid of them, or south and maybe fight Na'Vi. Not an easy choice here. Let's see what they go for down the line. Looks like they're trying to get those vehicles back together. Vitality from afar, punishing towards CrowCrowd, who are very focused, very tunnel vision towards maybe finding that remaining member. But look at M19, they're pushing up as well. They're maybe trying to get involved in this, try and secure that western northern side. This is going pretty big. Tabs still going off. Him and that barrel are looking very good together. 4 kills.
Yeah, G2 now shooting in Wanderer, last man standing for M19. Meanwhile, they know that Tab is up there, and Trifly is now going for the Tab as well.
Yeah, Trifly forced to fight, but he gets it. That's going to eliminate some of the threat over there. He stays alive for another couple of seconds, I can imagine. I don't think there's too many threats on that side. Wanderer's over there, and so is Shadow, but they're probably not worried about him right now. They're looking at the options of how do we get into that circle. G2 start to flex forward. Reciprocity, feel the punish of it, and there goes the final member of ENCE. I thought he wasn't going to be spotted out by Wanderer, but he was. Really nice awareness from him, but now G2 getting tags towards him.
G2 is getting a little bit bloodthirsty here. They are looking for people to just kill. Right now, they don't care about anything because they know they have so much open ground to cover. They just want to go for any kills, any points they can get before that happens.
Yeah, and FaZe looked like they did try and go towards the further east side of this hill. They didn't have to push too far into the open because Unity left Astish on this side as well. Blaston's down the open, completely visible to at least one of these two teams, and that will be Blaston down. It was either Raise Your Edge going to get it or FaZe pick your poison. And now we know there's a limit on how long Raise Your Edge can stay here. Drayden's playing the same game, but Drayden's been a bit of an animal on his own.
I don't think Raise Your Edge will be finding Drayden here. You're not expecting someone to be here down here with you. Wait, did Menos just spot him?
I'm seeing the SLR. It looks like a big yes. That's a big tag though, but they've got 3 players to peek him.
Nade coming in.
Here comes that nade. Oh, Drayden took Sigsy with him, but the nade is perfect. Not going to find any more. They can get the revive. I don't see any third-party pressure coming out. Let's look at who we have left. 8 teams here, and Na'Vi and FaZe could start clashing. First knock comes out. Na'Vi are in a bit of a 2-2, but not massively. NIP being forced down in the south. That's G2 locking them out. TSM in between the 2 giants at the moment. G2 further towards the west. Na'Vi more central.
Yeah, Na'Vi might be in a bad position here because if TSM decides that they want to push Na'Vi, that's when FaZe will go for it as well. And look at this circle, TSM will not do that. FaZe on the island, they need to push Na'Vi. They don't want to go downhill to the south side. They want to push straight on towards Na'Vi. And if FaZe get a knock or 2, you might see TSM pushing as well because they want to third party that and get those easy kills and easy points for them.
Let's have a peek across. This is that Na'Vi position. FaZe have to find a way here. This is not easy, not comfortable. Na'Vi, we know how good they can be at this sort of play, so not going to be a nice one for them. Senya, Aduzi, Bestaloch, and Pokemolodoy all know what's happening here. They're setting up ready for this. While we're watching the replay, they're getting very much prepared for this. ENCE providing the off angle. He's further down south. The 3-man hit squad of Fuzzface, Mexi, and Uber prepare to battle. They have to keep going forward. Aduzi and Senya will be the first port of call. The nades are good. They put up a bit of a smoke wall. These nades rain in, forcing them further and further back. FaZe have to do this. There's not many other options. They have to get into the circle.
And right now, FaZe are pushing Na'Vi back, and that shows dominance. Na'Vi needing to see cover by the shot there with 2 of the players, and that's really bad because it's so hard to get any angles from there.
But this could all be spoiled. Look at Raise Your Edge. They could just turn up into this. It looks like Mertz found Menox, but there's still Sigsy alive. He's still found a way forward. Senya's been knocked. That's Uber's nade. The follow-up nade is good, but Mexi is better. He's right knocking on their door. Surely that's a pickup. And now Mexi keeps pushing. Na'Vi are in trouble. They're falling like flies. Mexi and ENCE combined. Pokemon goes down. I think there's only one standing. It is. It's Bestaloch. And what a push from the Beast's FaZe.
Oh my God, that
Huge
was clean.
play. That was so clean. Forced stand. But now the next threat rears its head. You still have G2. You still have TSM here. But for now, FaZe have done so well to get this far. But can they stay alive, or have they got too much attention?
Looks like Fuzzface is on the second bleed, so they're not going to pick him up. He's going to die out there to Gustav. Now they know that TSM is down there. They know that Digital Athletics is north of them, and they know that G2 is on the west side. So how will they approach this? I think they will go to the south, try to take out TSM, because that's the biggest threat right now.
Need to see what's going on here. Digital Athletics have started to move, though. They've taken a very risky route. They are in the middle of the open. It was their best chance. They tried to strike while FaZe were distracted. And a beautiful death just delivers. Uber goes down. This is huge. This creates an avenue forward. Rafi isolates Kane. He can't be traded yet. He finds a bit of cover, but he has to be able to deal with Brexico. This isn't easy. He actually confirmed on Kane as well. He's being such a nuisance here, and no one can third party towards Rafi. Chris needs to come in. He knows that he does not want to let this 1v1 happen. Chris is trying to help out Brexico right now.
Rafi, on the other hand, he needs to move and do something about this right now. He's just trying to move away right now. He's not doing anything. That might be the loss of it.
Rafi, he's waited too late, and Chris turned up. He got a little bit of damage done, but here is the bigger threat right now we are seeing. Digital Athletics can thank a beautiful death for this push. To make it to this close position is because of that knock. It's allowed them further forward. The revive did come in, but still, look at this circle positioning from them. It's very open territory. It's not a nice angle to play from, but it's the best that they can get so far. FaZe look further south. Maybe they don't fancy this, but TSM is still lurking around here. FaZe
is probably going to be focusing on the south side, making sure where TSM is right now, because they know that it's going to be rough for Digital Athletics to actually push up towards them, and they don't want to do that. So if they can get rid of TSM, they can sweep on the south side, going west instead and taking map control.
Chris has the same idea. He started to move south, but he did it on his own. So now the problem is, he's found Rory. This has helped FaZe out. FaZe are going to be thanking him after the game. Chris just managed to take out Rory. The confirmation goes to FaZe. They're still racking up bodies, but Gustav now can't move a muscle. He is so alone in this. We're down to 4 teams.
4 teams, Gustav hiding in a broken shack there. I mean, it's nadeable. You can shoot it. You can destroy it. So the question is, will someone do that? I mean, FaZe guy might actually just throw a nade just to check it. Check if someone's in there.
Brexico and Chris might be able to get a 1v1 here against a beautiful death. Shot comes out, that's been made. Position noted. Iroh and Mert are pretty far away. So this could pay off. Mexi's read it. Uh-oh, that's a horrible thing to do. Forces him out. Mexi is at the door knocking, and he gets his answer. Gustav goes, it's top 3 time. Digital Athletics in the north, G2 in the west, and FaZe in the south. And G2 have been able to isolate a beautiful death. This pulls back Iroh and Mert from being able to try and slow down FaZe.
FaZe have a really good positioning, but looking at it, DA, they have all the information on both the teams as well. So more or less everybody knows where everybody is. The question is, who's going to get the first knock and who's going to make the first move?
A beautiful death, still alive, but only for so long. Brexico gonna do what is required. That's now a beautiful death gone. I do not see a revive coming through, and neither does Brexico. He agrees. We're down to 3 alive for FaZe, 2 for DA, and 2 for G2, but FaZe are being proactive. They've left Uber back on his own, try and keep that southern side safe. Mert and Iroh have so much to handle because everyone is looking their way.
FaZe is just playing a little bit more passive because they don't have the information right now. It's been a while since people were shooting. They want to make sure they have the info before they start pushing. But look at Chris.
He spotted out Mert. This looks like a death if I've ever seen one. Yes, it is. Chris delivers onto Mert. Iroh now last man standing for Digital Athletics. A big game for them, but a bigger one for Chris. This is going to be his 4th, I can imagine. It is. 4 kills for him, 4 for Brexico. But he's read the play. He might have just read that FaZe would have wanted to punish. This could be a really good insight. Iroh goes unnoticed for now. There's a little bit of a roll on that hill that he can stay under. And now we'll see what FaZe do. They have to work their way forward. They're going to start losing out on that safety of the hill.
Chris still has 6 smokes. Mexi got 3 smokes. We're going to see a lot of smokes coming out soon enough because when this next circle is shrinking together here, they're going to need to utilize smoke. You can see the area here. It's totally open, more or less.
There is so little to play with. This is why you're seeing those M24s come out. You're praying for knocks. You're praying for some damage to come in. Keep that range. Keep them at arm's length. Let's see what they've got to share out here. Couple of smokes.
2 nades shared.
Sharing out that utility. Trying to keep them all boosted up here. FaZe don't have that many smokes. They had to use a lot to get past Na'Vi, but they have good positioning. Look at Uber. Look at ENCE. This is more central. This is great for them. This should force G2 to meet Digital Athletics first.
But G2 have 11 smokes in total between the 2 of them. And if they use that correct, they can get the center of the circle by themselves.
Okay, that's a spot from Chris. He spotted out one of the players there. But that's still not a great deal of information. They're going to be working out the smokes now. Here we go. This is the smoke line that's going to go up. FaZe hold pretty much half of the map at the moment. ENCE not completely aware of the east, but it's fine. He can spot it out. There's not much cover there to be played with. Now, let's look at what Chris does about this. This is uphill, keep in mind. You can't see that here. Iroh is playing as late as he can. If he can be the 3rd man to the party, that's what he wants. The nades begin. First bit of contact comes out from ENCE, though. That's towards Chris. Does he have... Yes, he's got a mini as well with that 6 on top. That's perfect for him.
2 nades as well to work with, but no smokes, as you mentioned. So he wants to stick himself to the rock here for now, trying to find a pick here or there before he makes a move. He wants the others to get some information as well.
Peaks happen. Pyro's been spotted. It's top 2 time. We have 2 for G2 up against the 3 of FaZe, but Mexi's been spotted. Good tag from Chris, but he needs more. He needs to get a knock on this one fast, but Mexi does it back to blue. That's the problem for him. He's going to be in the blue soon, so he does need to make a play from this or try and do something with that 24. It's time to go here. Blue now moving in.
He needs help from the others. Look at
Done.
it.
It's a 2v2. The nades come out, but this could be too little too late. Chris has a shot on this. Great headshot from Uber. Keeps him at arm's length. Mexi is down. He got,
Oh my gosh!
in the smoke. He can't be stopped. Chris now last man standing for G2. He's got 8C to get past. He's got Uber to get past. And FaZe are center on this circle. 3-6 smoke still. But he can't make a play from it. He goes down and it's FaZe all day. These guys, I don't know